everybody. This is Shauna Benson from OCALI's Teaching Diverse Learners Center. Welcome back. Today I'm in a classroom with Sarah Miller, and this is her room, and we are looking through some of her materials, getting ready to start the new year, and we thought we'd share a couple of really quick strategies that may help out some of the students that you have in your classroom. So the first thing that I wanted to do as we were just talking and kind of setting up for this particular video clip and strategy, I noticed that Sarah has put together a new daily kind of planner and schedule. Yeah, and so I wondered if, Sarah, would you share a little bit and talk us through the new format? Because last year I know, well, in the past, I know that you've used a folder type system, like a binder, and then also a folder type system as well. And so this year you have a new structure. So tell me a little bit about that, and let's share with folks.
So my original thought was to find clipboards that have the storage in them so that I could keep things inside. I did have the binder before, but the problem with that was it wasn't out in the open all the time, and it wasn't easily kept on your desk without taking up a whole lot of room. So I decided to go with something like this, where I could keep most everything in the forefront, right where the kids can access it really well. At the top, I have our classroom expectations, kind of like our class rules. And then also I like using a first then system, but a lot of my kids need kind of an incentive or reward work built into it. So they have reward choices at the top. And the first then would be used for our schedule for first, we might have to do our morning meeting, and then we move on to numbers after that. Okay. Or it could be a behavior or a choice, something afterwards. But that's the idea with using this. And then they pick out the reward for the day, and these come off as kind of a points, am I following directions? Am I following my classroom expectations? And once they do, they can get the reward. But this part comes from the morning schedule, which I'll show you the rest of that. But these are basically just the morning, so we can pull from here and put on first then if we need to. And then I liked the clipboards or these document boxes because they open up and you have more storage inside. So I just laminated a folder, put in some Velcro. So this would be our morning schedule. This is our afternoon schedule. So they would pull straight from here and put them on the front so they know what's coming up and what we've already done. If we've already done it and it's just too much to look at, they can put it away with some assistance. And then we have extra storage for more symbols that might come up like an assembly or a field trip. So they kind of have a preview of what's to come.
I love that storage system because I remember when I had binders or loose pages where students were managing the schedule or we're doing the schedule together. Sometimes the symbols are falling out and we have a mess all the time and we're losing things. So I do like the containment of this structure a lot better. So one of the things that you mentioned is that you really like to have this first then type of choice option in your lineup. And then you also talked a little bit about the choice, the reward choice that you mentioned as well. So I'm going to talk real quickly about the reward choice, but I'm going to add in another strategy or a tool, again, something that you had in your classroom that I think is really important, especially if teachers have students who are who have some fine motor challenges and are working to make choices for communication and access. Sometimes our students have a little bit of trouble picking the laminated symbols or other symbols up off the table, and they may be trying to scoop and make their choice. And, we call out the choice that they make, but having them hold it in their hand and either hand it to you or actually being able to pick it up or truly choose it, I think is kind of important. So one of the things that we talked about to elevate the symbol off the table is using something like a squig. And there are different varieties of the squigs, different shapes and sizes and all of those things. So I have two different heights of squigs here. One of them has choices for that reward section or the they might need a movement break or a sensory break of some type. So in first, there may be something academic they're working on, and then they could be picking something that they choose. So this just has a break that's more restful break or more of a movement break, and there could be other sensory tools that you would pick for students. But putting them on the tops of the squigs, if they're laminated, the squig actually suctions the laminated symbol right onto it. So as students are picking, they can actually make their choice without flipping it off all the time. Or the Velcro, you could actually affix Velcro to the top of the squig as well and actually Velcro the symbol there so it stays. And so as students are choosing and moving, and of course you could have it on a vertical surface too, rather than a flat surface here. And you could move from something like a 2-choice to something with more choices, 3 or more choices, or the different elevation for some students may be important. And so, we could have a symbol choice here as well. And you can space them differently, however far apart students need. And so this could be one of those, whatever you want to choose next could be here in more choices. And I also love the squigs that actually are flexible and bendable. And I know like in your class and in some of the classes I've had students whose range of motion is, and even dominant, like side of dominance, is important to take into consideration for choice making or even visual field, those kinds of things. So you can actually bend some of the squigs so where the choices are on the sides or, out in front or at a different angle than just the flat-based squig choices as well. And some of the squigs now, I didn't even know that they had some of these, but they actually have multi-surfaces, like little person. But if you put it upside down, you'd actually have multiple surfaces for a 4-choice even. So I think that kind of pairing some of the tools you're using every day with some access-based tools, even something as simple as a toy that most kids would just be playing with, we can use for accessibility, I think is fun to consider as well. Any other thoughts or ideas with either the schedule that you shared with us or any of this accessibility information or choice making?
I don't think so. Just like you said, I just thought of it as a toy that my students usually enjoyed, but I mean, I have a whole new idea set to try out.
All right. Well, thanks so much for letting me come in and hang out and play with all the cool toys and resources in your classroom. It's super fun. And hopefully we can do it again and share other ideas with folks. And again, if you have great ideas, please feel free to contact me at OCALI, Shauna_Benson at ocali.org. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.